Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Sunday morning to you all. Hope you guys are having a great weekend out there so far and a great Sunday. I got you an update weather-wise, as always, on what is going to happen for most of the country today. We'll give you an update on that. We'll give you an update on this cold front that's making its way through most of the country as I speak right now. A lot of you guys will wake up to a nice, crisp morning for your Monday morning, and if not Monday morning, for your Tuesday morning. We'll give you an update on that. Kind of excited about a nice change of air mass for sure. I always love that first real good cold front of the year. And this cold front coming, it isn't, the cold front we necessarily look for, but it's still going to bring a nice change of air mass for most of the country. We'll talk about that. We'll give you an update on the tropics, but I can tell you guys, I'm not going to hype anything up that's not there. The tropics, we are literally right on peak season right now. In fact, I think yesterday was actually the literal day peak of our hurricane season, but it doesn't look like hurricane season out there, and I'll give you an update on that. Pretty calm for middle of September standards. So we'll give you an update on everything. If you guys have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. Appreciate the support, and I'm sorry I have not made videos in the evenings for about 3 nights in a row. I just didn't even let you guys know last night. It's just been a hectic last several days, and I've already said that I'm not going to get into that again. So just still trying to mentally recuperate. So, like I said, if you guys got anything that I can pray about, pray over, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it, and it gives others an opportunity to do so too. Let's get rocking here and take a look at water vapor loop. The rest of Earl is moving on out, but Earl's just a done deal now. The rest of the tropics, pretty quiet, nothing going on. But one thing that I'm really looking at is this punch of dry air. Look at this. You see how this looks different than this? That is the cold front. This is actually a strong upper trough. We got cutoff lows, upper troughs, cold fronts. But this is just kind of, we call it a cold front, but it's kind of a different feature. So you got a piece of energy riding along this upper trough that's actually bringing a lot of rain shower activity for the Midwest into Chicago, Wisconsin this morning. But behind it, a nice punch of dry air that will move through the rest of the Missouri throughout the morning hours, into Arkansas throughout the day, and then it will get into Tennessee, Kentucky overnight tonight, and you folks will wake up to a nice morning. So this is dry air, and all of this, where it's more white, is basically more moist air. So it's an interesting thing to look at with water vapor loop. Storm Prediction Center, obviously nothing going on in the white because you have more dry, stable air mass, but in the green, where you're still get that moist air mass, you still got a chance of storms today, but severe threat just not really there. As far as rainfall, excessive rainfall outlook, you got to watch out this morning. You got a slight risk, at least a 15% risk in this yellow area for excessive rainfall for flash flood guidance being met. So we'll watch the Big Bend areas of Florida again. We'll watch the immediate mid-Atlantic today for some flooding. But I think the showers and storms, it was wild here in South Carolina. People were questioning the forecast, and I don't really blame them. It was actually not a bad day yesterday for Georgia, South Carolina, for example. It didn't rain most of the day. It rained like cats, and I just rained like crazy last night. I mean, we picked up about 2-3 inches of rain here in my location in Columbia, South Carolina last night. But most of the day yesterday, I mean, the sun broke through, and it didn't really materialize for an all-day rain, which I kind of mentioned last night. But anyways, I honestly think today will kind of be like yesterday. Not very widespread unless you get into the mid-Atlantic, and we'll talk about that. But the National Hurricane Center, the 5-day outlook, you got this 20% chance to develop, but it's most likely not going to develop. So it's quiet. I mean, you look at this and you wouldn't think that it's peak season, I tell you that. So let's break it down each region. Start off by this morning, you got some lingering showers. We got more that will fire up in eastern North Carolina. Widespread showers and storms in Tennessee, Kentucky, southern Indiana, and Illinois. These will make their way through ahead of this cold front. And then just plentiful showers and storms for basically the Big Bend areas of Florida and even the rest of the peninsula. Well, everybody will have a chance of Florida to have a chance of a shower or storm. Maybe some showers and storms develop in North Georgia, areas of eastern Alabama a little bit later this evening. But really anybody in the southeast could see a storm. They could, or downpour. But it's going to be hard to predict exactly where and who sees it. But move up to the northeast and the mid-Atlantic. I think it'll be more widespread this morning for these areas in the mid-Atlantic. You're seeing some shower storms this morning, and then more will to develop a little bit later this afternoon and this evening. But watch out in and around the Detroit area, the whole entire state of Michigan. Some storms could develop through. Then we'll watch in western Ohio a little bit later this evening as some storms and some activity moves out of Indiana into Ohio. Cleveland, maybe a rumble of thunder overnight. And then outside of that, just, if you're basically anywhere from New York State, point south, southwest, anybody could see a storm today for your kickoff with NFL football starting today, week 1. But the south central U.S., pretty quiet. This cold front's moving through and the atmosphere stabilizes, and the only area you could see some showers and storms as far as southern areas of Texas. Outside of that, pretty chill day. It really is. Shower storms possible in areas of New Mexico and Arizona, but outside of that, pretty chill. You're seeing a disturbance move through, basically a low pressure riding this upper trough. This happens a lot, and this is promoting a very soggy morning across Indiana. Maybe some strong storms could make their way into Chicago around later this morning into midday, and make their way into Indiana, then make their way into Michigan a little bit later this afternoon into this evening. And this thing will be spinning like crazy, a cool little low pressure right over Lake Michigan. It will be interesting to see what kind of storm activity this pops up on Wisconsin and Michigan today for sure. But temperatures, but you can kind of see the gradient right here where the cold front moves through. High temperatures from Missouri, points northwest. It's going to feel like a fall day in all these states right here. Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan, Minnesota, the Dakotas. It's going to feel like fall today. But ahead of the cold front, which is all in these states right here, moist air mass, chance of storms. It's not going to be super hot. You don't really see, it's getting into mid-September. Even though you got moist air masses, you don't get the super hot temperatures anymore normally. But temperatures generally in the 70s and 80s, but moist, humid day. But going forward here, an update on this cold front. Here we go. Moving forward, I'll start this around this evening. You can tell where the dry air mass is. You got dew points in the 30s, 40s, 50s. Moving into Arkansas, it's done took over the whole entire state of Missouri and Indiana just about. So basically, Illinois. Basically, if you're in Illinois, you'll wake up to a moist morning, but by the time you get into this afternoon and this evening, you'll wake out, it'll get kind of breezy, and all of a sudden it'll feel much, much better as a dry air mass moves in. So you see these dew points in the 60s and 70s, moist air mass still taking a hold of areas of the southeast, mid-Atlantic. But as we keep going, for example, look, I got my cursor right on the Nashville, Tennessee area, and even look in Memphis. But watch out, Nashville. Watch this. This is around this evening. We get into Monday morning. Suddenly, Nashville, you're waking up tomorrow morning. For example, you go to sleep. It's still humid out there. Dew points in the 60s and near 70. And then you wake up tomorrow morning to start your work week, and it'll feel like fall with dew points crashing into the 40s and 50s. Beautiful air mass. Little Rock, beautiful way to start your week. Even into Dallas, Fort Worth, dew points into the 50s. It'll feel fall-like out there. And this will continue throughout the day tomorrow. I think Birmingham, for example, Jackson, Mississippi, I think dew points will crash throughout the day Monday. And then we're getting into the Ohio Valley. Dew points will crash throughout the day Monday. And then check this out. You get all the way into Tuesday morning, and look at this. A dry air mass takes over all the way down to Mobile, Alabama, it looks like all the way down to Tallahassee, Florida. And then you're waking up in Charlotte, Columbia, Atlanta, and you can feel the shift in the air mass as you're waking up Tuesday morning. And the way this is digging with this upper trough kind of takeover here, it actually the dry air will get to the south before it gets to New York City and Boston. But this will move through, and throughout the day Tuesday, you'll feel a shift in the air mass throughout the I-95 corridor. And then we'll wake up like I said, these are dew points. We'll wake up Wednesday morning and look at these dew points per the GFS all the way down to Jacksonville, Florida, taking over the entire panhandle of Florida, takes over the entire deep south, To me, this would say that a lot of areas in this area of the South will get down to the upper 50s. When dew points crash into the 40s and low 50s, your air temperatures, it allows the wet bulb to be lower, which means the temperatures are probably going to get into the upper 50s. So this is nice to see. Beautiful air mass. By the time we get into midweek, Wednesday morning, it just takes over the entire eastern U.S. unless you're, in the panhandle of Florida where cold fronts just do not make it. So what happens after that? Well, the air mass, of course, is fleeting because, it's just that time of the year where you just don't have a consistent push of dry air. But it'll be interesting to see if we can keep dry air around. And, we get all the way into this weekend, still, relatively dry air around. The Northeast just continues to get troughing, downright cool shot of air. And, you keep going throughout the entire run, and it looks like a dry air mass just fully takes over the middle of the country. But we'll watch this. And, you look at the European model, and we'll see what this looks like. Same kind of deal. We'll get into Monday throughout the day, dew points crashing across most of the mid-south and deep south. And then we're getting into Tuesday morning, and you'll feel a shift in the air mass. So as far as low temperatures, how low can it get? Well, Monday morning, waking up to maybe the upper 50s for Nashville, Memphis, Tennessee, waking up to the 50s. The entire state of Arkansas, maybe waking up to the 50s, maybe some low 50s, maybe an isolated sub 50 degree reading in the higher elevations of Arkansas. Indiana, Illinois. It's going to feel like fall tomorrow morning. It really is. And then we get into our Tuesday morning. What's Tuesday morning look like? Look at this 50s, almost all the way down to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Waking up to maybe a 59 degree reading or two in areas of Atlanta. And then we get into our Wednesday morning and look at the cool air mass, getting into areas of South Carolina, North Carolina, Birmingham, waking up into the upper 50s. So a nice air mass. You're going to feel a distinct shift in the air mass this coming week. Big cold front coming. You can see it's another great way to look at it. Precipitation, water values. These colors right in here, these yellows, these reds. These is a big time moist air mass. And then you see the dry colors with the browns, things like that. I mean, you can just look at the change in air mass. Look as this moves in, takes over the eastern U.S. and a big abrupt change in air mass. And this is just an upper trough. You see how it's kind of detached from the main, northern latitude flow up here. So this is just more of an upper trough, not necessarily a full-fledged, widespread cold front. It is a cold front, but upper troughs mean they don't always provide that substantial push of dry, cold air that we really need. But this one's pretty strong, so it will. And we were kind of questioning how strong it was several days ago, but it's looking like it's verifying pretty strong, which is good if you're a cooler weather fan, which I think anybody likes a good cold front this time of the year. Tropics, I'm only going to show the GFS because the Euro's quiet too, but there's nothing. You're going to see a lot of convection firing up this time of the year in the Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico, but it's hard to take it serious until we get it into about the sub 150 hour time frame. So it's quiet in the tropics. There's no point in really getting detailed on this. It's quiet. There's no immediate threats, and we'll see what happens with the tropics, but it's definitely entering a more quieter phase right now. So God bless all y'all. Y'all have a great Sunday. Appreciate y'all tuning in, and I will definitely have a video tonight, no doubt. God bless. Have a great day.